Hi, what's up, everybody? We're going to talk today about protecting your marriage from infidelity. Seems like every other day we get news of another failed marriage
Yeah.
because one of them stepped out. So we've been married for 28 years. At the recording of this video, we are about a week away
Yes.
from our 28th anniversary.
Correct.
And these are four things that we've used for ourselves. Maybe not all of them are going to work for you, but these are things that we've used for ourselves with great success. And we thank God for keeping our marriage
Correct.
safe. Okay?
Correct.
So here's four things. The first one is no secrets. Right? We have decided that there are going to be no secrets between us. So whenever there is a person of the opposite sex that we don't feel comfortable with,
Correct.
whenever, and I don't know why, but women have this radar that the men don't have. So listen, if you're a dude, listen to your spouse. We have no secrets. Whenever there is any type of overture, any type of conversation, any type of attitude that we don't feel comfortable with from somebody from the opposite sex,
Correct.
we immediately tell each other.
Correct.
The devil thrives in secrecy.
Definitely. Absolutely. And whenever we're whenever we're able to speak these things into light or into truth, then it's no longer a secret. So he's not able to dwell there.
Correct. And I'm very concerned when people tell me I can deal with this by myself. I don't need anybody's help. I don't need any counselor. I don't need to be have any accountability partners. I don't need to tell anything to anyone. It's just me and Jesus and my dog.
And then
Right.
those are the ones that later on, it's like they've got this blow up story at the end that you're like, what in the world? I never would have imagined.
Yeah.
But it's because they lived in secrecy.
I wake up every day with the dual realization
Okay.
that I can fall
Mm-hmm.
and
For
that
sure.
God can keep me safe.
Absolutely.
Right? The moment that I go in either direction and I don't believe that, I'm very vulnerable.
Correct.
There's nothing you can do to absolutely 100% make sure this doesn't happen. You can't guarantee because you can't guarantee how the other person is going to behave. But you can improve the probability. So these are four rings. The first one is no secrets.
That's right. No secrets.
I remember there was a time I got to church one Sabbath morning and there was a lady there. She was a deaconess, like 70 years old,
Right.
Um, and I said, how are you? Happy Sabbath. You know what we pastors do. It's just her and I. It was like really early. It's like 8:30 in the morning. She was when I got there to open the church. She was already there.
Correct.
And I said, "How you doing, sister?" And she said, she just looked at me with this with this like mischievous, like flirtatious look. She says, "The older, the better." And I'm like, "What? What?" What? I was like a young pastor, you know, when we're young kids, and this lady is flirting with me at church. And I said, "Okay, I'll be right back." And I went over, and I told my wife about her. I said, "Listen, you know, you."
Gotta watch out for them.
I don't. I was
Those
not.
cougars, those
I was
cougars.
not in any shape, way, form attracted to her. But this is just a practice. We do it with people that we're attracted to, with people that we're not attracted to. You're not going to be only attracted to your spouse for the rest of your life. There are other people that are attractive.
Correct. And it's not even attraction. Sometimes they're fulfilling something at that moment that maybe as a spouse we're lacking.
Absolutely.
So, maybe it's been a really busy time and you're really stressed at work, and so you haven't been listening, let's say. And then all of a sudden, you find that someone else, someone of the opposite sex, in my case would be a male, you're sitting down, you're having a conversation, and they're so interested in what you have to say.
So
that-
in tune.
Yeah, so in tune with what you have to say. You have to be careful with those moments. If you feel like you're being attracted to that person for that reason, not because you're thinking long term, like you would like to be with that person, just because they're fulfilling a need at that time. That's something you need to share.
Yeah. So we have no secrets.
Correct.
Right. The second one is. This is kind of like a tricky one. I want you guys to understand what we're saying, right? If you have any comments about it, you can just leave the comments there. we got this counsel before we got married, and it
Correct.
was very helpful to us.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that this one is not for everybody, but it was good for us.
Yes.
It worked for us. So I'll just throw it out there. You can just feel free to say, yeah, that did not work for me, or yeah, that was a great one for me. Right? Just put it in the comments. Let us know how we're doing. Right?
Correct.
We're trying to. The guy that gave us premarital counseling said there's only one thing. Well, he said there's very few things that your spouse can do for you that nobody else can do for you.
Correct.
Without it being sin.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm not saying like only women clean houses and only men are breadwinners, but just as a matter of example, like another woman can come and clean the house.
I like that idea. Let's just make that happen.
We're empty nesters. Yeah,
Let's make that happen.
Let's pay somebody. Somebody else can come and cook. Right? Although I cooked also, and I clean house also, and I wash dishes. Somebody can come and wash dishes and wash the clothes.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And make the bed and have a conversation with me.
Yes.
But there's one thing in particular that nobody else can do with me without it being sin.
Correct.
And that would be what?
Intimacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So if that's the case,
Yep.
let's really hone in and work at that.
Correct.
Right? This having good intimacy
Yes.
is a way of protecting. This doesn't guarantee the other person's never going to step out, but a strong bedroom is going to create blessings and walls that protect us.
Yes. It's like also you can think about it as a thermometer. You know, if it's like the thermometer of your marriage. So if things are going well, intimacy is going well, you're spending time together in that area in particular, then the thermometer is warm. Things are good. It's nice and hot. And so is your marriage. Things are going well in that area. But if that area is failing, then the temperature's going down, and it's like it's iceberg cold here. Not just in the bedroom, but it can be iceberg cold in all areas. You know, because they go together.
And I don't want to, and I want to make a clarification. I don't want to say, well, stuff is bad, therefore you can step out.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's sinful.
No.
Right, this is not an excuse.
No excuse.
Right, but these are things. So I heard somebody say that one of the ways that you know if your marriage is strong is by the way you kiss.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just about the sexual act, but the kissing.
Correct. Yeah.
Um,
So, and that being that's the case, we have to take time and do it well. So let me describe it to you this way. So
break it down for the people.
Roger considers me to be a pretty good cook.
Absolutely.
So
100%.
But there are times where time is short. We just want to get a quick meal in. So I'll prepare something that's fast. I'll prepare like a burrito. Just warm up some beans, warm up those tortillas, throw some tomatoes and cilantro. You're good. You got a good burrito. Okay. Roger, you enjoy burritos. Yeah, it's a quick meal, but you enjoy them.
I enjoy burritos.
Correct. Sometimes I really want to prepare a nice meal. I want to prepare a bigger meal, something that takes more time, something that takes more planning. So I'll take time, I'll look for a new recipe, or it might be one of those old grandma recipes, how you used to make things back, our parents used to make them. And so these things take more time, more preparation. You like those meals too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love them.
The difference is the amount of time that we've put into preparing these two meals.
So what does meals have to do with intimacy? There's somebody right now that's like, what?
So sometimes intimacy, every time when you have sex, it doesn't have to be a 5-course meal that takes 3 hours to prepare. It can be something. Sometimes
a burrito's good.
Sometimes a burrito's good. The important thing is that you're eating. Are you eating well?
Mercy, God, Kathy.
So, but the important thing is to put some time and effort into it as well. It can't be just always fast food.
Number 3, one of the ways that we know we are going in a wrong path as it relates to stepping outside our marriage bond is when we ask ourselves a very dangerous question.
And what would that be?
The very dangerous question is this: what's wrong with?
Oh, I can see.
What's wrong with somebody? I mean, I've counseled an incredible amount of couples that have dealt with this issue.
Yes.
nobody wakes up in the morning and says today's going to be a great day to commit
Oh
infidelity.
no, I can't even
Today is a
imagine.
great day to mess up my marriage and my testimony and my kids and traumatize them. Today is a great day just to bring a lot of pain into my life. Nobody wakes up. It all starts very innocently.
Correct.
A text. I was just texting her about. I texted him a Bible verse. I was just giving them encouragement.
Correct.
And then
I just accepted a friend request. Just wanted to catch up on the past. What's wrong with?
what's wrong with being
that?
friends with your ex on Facebook?
What's wrong with that?
First of all, Facebook is a dumpster fire, but it's not neither here nor there. What's wrong with? And then you start being defensive. When you're being defensive, that's a clear sign that you might be heading in a wrong path. What's wrong with sending a text? What's wrong with having a meal? I wanted to encourage them. I had just what's wrong with flirting a little bit? What's wrong with telling somebody they look good? What's wrong in accepting people that tell me that I look good, and especially if I'm craving for attention in my home and I'm not getting it? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? Defensiveness. Correct. Listen to me. Defensiveness is the first step towards infidelity. When you start asking yourself what's wrong with, you have to check yourself, because it never ends the way it starts.
Correct.
Right? So it's better to nip it at the bud.
Correct.
I'd rather be overprotective going one way than find myself having to find temptation when I am in a hotel room with somebody saying what am I about to do? I maybe should not be doing this.
Correct. And I guess the question we should be asking ourselves, instead of what's wrong with, we should be asking, is this wise?
That's number 4.
Correct. Is this wise? So let me give you the example that you gave. You said, what's wrong with sending them a text because you're encouraging them? The question is it wise to send somebody of the opposite sex a text at 11:30 at night? That's the question. Is this
even
wise?
if it's spiritual?
Yes.
Even if it's encouragement.
Correct. Yeah. Is this wise? So I work alongside my husband at the Southern Union, and one of the things that I do is I come in. I'm the event coordinator, and I coordinate all of our evangelistic series. So I have to come in and I have to meet with the pastors before the meetings, and I come in and meet with them monthly. So I have to be very careful because I work in a predominantly male environment. I often have to ask myself this question, not what's wrong with, but rather, is it wise? So I always, if I have to go and meet with a person, I always make sure that it's me and 2 others. So it's not just me and that other person. I don't expect anything to go wrong. I completely trust that the person that I'm going to meet with is a virtuous person, moral, not a problem. But I don't ask myself what's wrong with. I have to ask myself, is this wise? And it's always best to go with it is wise. If for some reason, let's say they're giving me a ride, we're in a group, right? We all get together, we meet, and then we're gonna go to the restaurant, and they're all males, and they're giving me a ride there, and it's just me and the other person. I don't say, well, it's what's wrong with this? They're just giving me a ride to the restaurant. What I do is I say, is this wise? So I might catch a ride with that person, but I'll call Roger in the car. Call him and say, Roger, the meeting was great. Hey, I'm here with Pastor such and such. You want to say hi? So I keep the environment very relaxed, very unthreatening, just, keep everything on the up and up. And, I ask myself, is this wise? And I want to make sure that it is a wise choice that I'm making.
Yeah, we have this ministry that we do, and so we get a lot of messages,
correct,
right, from people from the opposite sex, people that ask me, that are women, they're asking me questions,
correct,
right? They're bearing their soul. As soon as I get a message from somebody who's from the opposite sex, I don't ask myself what's wrong with answering them. I just say, is this wise? So I immediately say, yeah, my wife and I. That's how I reply. Yeah, my wife and I, and my wife can, and me and my wife. So correct, I immediately bring her in, right? Because I don't want to give any foothold, correct, to the devil. Any foothold. I don't want to see how close to the precipice I can get without falling over.
Correct.
Right? I want to be as far away. One thing that works in my favor is that I'm an introvert, so I'm not very friendly.
But I actually have the other problem. I am very much an extrovert, and I'm super friendly. And here's another time that I have to be careful with myself. So I'm friendly. I'm Puerto Rican. So we're the type that we hug and we give kisses, but not everyone understands that as a cultural thing. Some people take that and mistake, and they mistake that I'm being overly friendly in a way that I'm actually, telling them I'm attracted to them or I'm trying to pursue something else. And so I can immediately pretty much always tell when my friendliness has been misunderstood. So I have to learn, I have to ask myself, so what's wrong? What's wrong with me being friendly? There's nothing wrong with me. This is who I am. That's not the question to ask. I have to say, is this wise for me to be friendly with this person when they are, when they can misunderstand that? So I have to change course so that there isn't, I don't feed into what that person thinks I'm trying to, portray or so they're not perceiving me incorrectly. Absolutely. So that's things like that. These are just examples from our life.
Yeah. Well, very well. Well, we're done. But before I go, I just want to let you know that we have giveaways whenever we get to the every 1,000 subscribers. We give giveaways. If you have any comments or questions, or you would like prayer, please leave it in the comments. We'd love to pray for your relationship. And if you want to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. It helps us to get the message across to more people. And we love to get some feedback from you. We're trying to do different videos of different things in this new normal that we have. And we want to close out today with a message from the marriage manual.
Correct.
Proverbs. If the Bible had a Twitter account, it would be Proverbs.
Correct.
Right? And Proverbs 19:20 says,
listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom in the future.
2 keys: listening and accepting.
Correct.
Right? So if this has been helpful, just listen to it. Stay as far away from it, and may you and your relationships be blessed.